Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Today is the 4th of February 2015. Last week we studied about Hetu Pacaya root conditions. Regarding about root conditions, that depend on this 6 root as the cause. And Citta, consciousness, Citasika, mental factors, and Rupa, realities as effect. So when we start a bit more, when we study the law of causal relations now, the Buddha explained about the 4 realities. Just only Citta, Citasika, Rupa, and Nibbana. So Citta means consciousness, Citasika, mental factors. Rupa, you can call mental, materialities, corporealities, or Nibbana. So it's the 4 realities. So I want all of you to understand what is meant Citta, what is meant Citasika. Because we deal with this Citta, Citasika, so we need to know what is meant Citta, how many types of Citta, how many types of consciousness, how many types of mental state, mental factors, how many kinds of Rupa. We should know in advance. And then you will understand the whole chapter. If you don't understand Citta, Citasika, so you go further, it's difficult for you. So I would like all of you to know, for example here, what we already studied about root condition. For example, it's the Lobha, right? Lobha related to Citta, Citasika. So here, what Citta, what kind of Citta, what kind of Citasika? You don't know it yet, right? So that's why you have to know individual. When Lobha arises, this what kind of Citta, Citasika, they will be together. So we need to study this unwholesome consciousness 12. Unwholesome consciousness 12. So mostly every day since we get up in the morning until you fall asleep, what type of consciousness did that arise? Mostly unwholesome consciousness. So we study ourselves. What's meant unwholesome consciousness? This unwholesome consciousness rooted in greed. See that, right? Unwholesome consciousness rooted in greed. Rooted in hatred. 2, rooted in delusion. 2. So just study about that first. So when you see something, you like it. So mostly, for example, you listen to song, listen to music. You feel very happy, right? Very happy. Does happiness, what type of consciousness? Wholesome or unwholesome? Unwholesome. See that? So, if unwholesome, they are unwholesome rooted in greed. So, we have 8 types of consciousness. Number 1 and number 2 and number 3. Depend. So, that's we have to study out, this first. And we will know what happened in your mind. This unwholesome consciousness is the slobha or dosa or moha. You will know for yourself. And then you can change it. Otherwise, the rest of your life you will not change because you think it's good. Just today, after lunch, I give a Dhamma talk. One lady asked me, when we listen to song, listen to music, so when we dance, or we watch the dancing, is it wholesome or unwholesome? She asked me. So I'm very sorry to answer their question, but I know they like it, So exactly unwholesome. So unwholesome. So the Dhamma is like arrow. Go straight, So one lady is a dancer. Dancer says we perform dancing or fundraising for the temple. It's a wholesome answer. She asked me about that. So, fundraising, according to Buddha's teaching, according to it's just a beetle. It's unwholesome consciousness. You cannot say it's good. It's not good. When we perform that, that's the moment we perform that. As unwholesome consciousness, it's not good. It's blameworthy. And it gives the bad results. That's why we call it unwholesome. So every day, so you want to see something, you want to hear something, you want to smell something, you want to eat something, you want to touch something. So just wanting. It's the lobha, right? Greed. Some, you want something, you cannot get it. Even you get it, you don't like it. What happened? Dosa, right? Dosa is not with anger. It's very subtle of this anger. For example, you feel sorry about that. This anger. You're depressed by this anger. Worry about this anger. See that? So, sometimes it's lobha, sometimes it's the dosa. Sometimes we don't realize that. It's the wholesome or unwholesome. We don't realize yourself. We don't realize what happened. This moha, delusion. So mostly in our lives, if we don't study just the realities regarding about consciousness and put into practice just lobha, dosa, moha, unwholesome consciousness, just more than wholesome consciousness. For wholesome consciousness, as you see here, alobha, adosa, amoha. Alobha is non-greed, right? Non-greed. Just adosa, non-hatred, loving kindness. Amoha, non-delusion, non-wisdom. If you compare with unwholesome consciousness, it's very few in our daily lives. So that's why we need to study after you know this wholesome consciousness. arises in my mind. This unwholesome or this wholesome, we need to change for our own benefit. Otherwise you will listen. So they ask me, what do we have to do? So we like to listen to song. So instead of you listen to song, listen to the Dhamma talk. Instead of you singing, mostly someone take a shower singing, go to restaurant singing, driving singing, right? So instead of singing, what do you have to do? Recite holy scripture, chanting. So we need to change. So we study a bit of a lot of concentration, but we study about our mind in our daily life, what we have to do. So we have to know it first. Otherwise you will cost a lot of money, don't waste your time, get nothing, right? It's not that you get something, it's a bad stuff. It's not good stuff. That's why we have to study this unwholesome consciousness first. Right? Altogether they have 12. So the first one is it's a brief. You start in Pali term. Samanasakata, Didikada, Sambayuta, Asankarika, may be difficult for you to remember in Pali term or English term, so I just put it English only. So I will try the best to explain for all of you to understand the meaning. If you understand number 1, the remaining 7, then easy. So don't worry. Even if you have 12, maybe just tonight you will understand it all. So if you understand number 1, so we need to explain about this number 1. Take example. So here, with pleasure, will wrong you unprompted. This one type of consciousness. What's mean is the with pleasure. So you see, we study just only with pleasure will wrong you unprompted. You will not understand that. So we need to take some examples, a lot of examples. So if you know one example, you can think by yourself, many examples, you will understand about that. So we already study about this unwholesome action 10, right? So we can use unwholesome action 10, take example, or today I just like to take one example, easy for all of you. So who use drug, drink alcohol, or no, heroin, and so on. So who drinks, for example, drink alcohol, intoxicant? Why they drink it? Because of what? They want to enjoy it, right? You want it. They said, you want to enjoy this the taste, right? See, the taste. The taste. If this person drinking alcohol with pleasure, you can look at their face, you can say, very happy, right? Drinking. So, drink alcohol with pleasure. And then, this means with pleasure, will wrong you. What's mean with wrong you? Drinking alcohol used to intoxicate is good or not? Really is not, right? But this person think that, it's good. It's not unwholesome deed. It's not unwholesome deed. Will not produce any better self. So, have this kind of thinking without understanding the action, the karma, and its result. Because with wrong view and unprompted. Unprompted when you see alcohol, and then for this person, spontaneous drink. So this type of consciousness is number one, right? So drink alcohol with pleasure and with wrong view and unprompted, without inducing from others. So spontaneously just drink the right way. So this type of consciousness is the number one. It's unwholesome consciousness rooted in love, greed. Understand it, right? So some others example gambling. So we understand this is the first thing. Gambling consists into karmism. I'll explain about that. So gambling, why go to gamble? You want your money, right? You want to be rich, short way, right? And then you go to gamble. Gambling, so who go to gamble with pleasure? Pleasure, gambling is maybe you know think that it's bad, it's unwholesome deed, and then will give rise to the bad side. Without knowing that, this man will wrong you. As unprompted, because he wanted to go to gamble, but no one induced him to do that. So, number one, right? Number one, consciousness. Or something else. Some who commits the sexual misconduct. Why? It's love, right? Rooted in love, greed. This maybe the moment he committed with pleasure. Maybe he think that it's not without knowing this is the bad karma, which gives rise to the bad side. This will wrong you. It's unprompted. No one forced to do that. Do by himself. Right away. So and so on. Right? So number one, so please remember this do this something with pleasure, with wrong you, unprompted. So think about yes, every day. So when you eat, see, you enjoy eating. At that moment, what type of consciousness? Wholesome, unwholesome. Unwholesome, you see, unwholesome is lower. Greed, oh, I like that, oh, very delicious, very tasty. See that? So with pleasure. So with wrong you. What's mean with wrong you? Without knowing this, if I enjoy the food, this is the unwholesome deed. So if I enjoy the food, eat too much, I will give rise to the bad stuff. Without knowing that, this will wrong you. So no one, explain about that, talking about that. He himself just, enjoys right way, spontaneously. It's the more. So even you eating. So what do we have to do when we eat? See that? So So you should know. After you know, you need to change. So I will tell you later how to change to be wholesome consciousness. So what are you eating? It's yoga. And how about when you dress? Dress in the morning, take a shower, go to the office, go to work, dressing, look at yourself, happy, right? With pleasure. Number one, with pleasure. With wrong you, I'm not serious somewhere else. It's mine. So, see, without knowing these actions, the karma, and this result, with wrong you, I'm prompted. So you take it, dress it. That's number one, right? Number one. So listen to music. When you listen to music, with pleasure, around you, so everybody listen to music. You don't know it's the unwholesome, you just think it's the norm. So without knowing this is the bad action, or brings the bad stuff, it's the with wrong view. Unprompted, as soon as you stop your car, play right away, listen to music. Listen to song, right? Mostly. Unprompted. See, number one. Or sometimes when you sing a song. With pleasure, with wrong view, unprompted. It's possible, right? So, every day, if you don't know how to dress, how to eat, how to use your eye, how to use your ears, just unwholesome consciousness. So that's why I keep reminds our devotees, our people. When you eat, how to eat? The Buddha gives us the way, the right way to eat. The Buddha says, who has the Nama Rupa, mind and body, who have these five aggregates, realize a patient. Everyone's a patient. Don't think that I'm unhealthy, not healthy. You have to take care of this body every day, because the body is patient, right? So many kindnesses. So since you get up in the morning, you have to rise to rest. You have to go to the bathroom. You have to wash your face, brush your teeth, and change your clothes. And you have to drink something, you have to eat something, and you have to run to your office, right? Go to your work, and so on. So it's not only one day, the rest of your life, right? That's why we are patient. We have to take care of this body every day. So the Buddha says, who have this nama rupa, or the five aggregate, this five khandha, is patient. So think about that, oh, I'm patient. So I'm patient. As you are patient, what you have to do? You have to eat every day. Otherwise you will die. You will die. You are patient, you have to eat. So the patient at hospital, what do you have to do? Take medication many times a day, right? So we take medication how many times a day? Big time, 3 times. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. Small medication, right? So when you take that, thirsty or hungry, we have to eat, we have to drink. It's like patient. So we are patient. So when we eat, think about, oh, I'm patient. I have to take my medication to take care of this body. Think like that. It's wisdom, more non-delusion. See that? Non-delusion stuff. You can eat more than as usual, but with mindfulness, with wisdom. So don't worry about unwholesome consciousness. So you know how to eat, right? So be mindful. Think, oh, I'm patient. So because the body needs that, I have to drink, I have to eat. So during eating, drinking, be aware of every activities get involved. Be mindful about that. So you would gain mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. See that you eat many, many times a day. You practice this meditation many, many times a day. You will gain wisdom. So whenever you eat, think about that. So nice, I'm patient, I have to take this medication. So you dress today is one color, about tomorrow, change another, a lot of clothes, right? You have to change every day. Why you have to change every day? Like the patient in the hospital, they have to change the bandage. Right? The body is our patient. What happened to our body? Sweats come out, smells come out, many kind of impurities come out all the time, right? We have to take care of it every time. And one day we have to change our bandage. This cloth thing that as a bandage. And then you will not attach to your cloth. How many bandages you have? A lot. Not the closet, right? It's many. So think, oh, this is my bandage. Because I'm patient, I have to change every day. That's wisdom. See that? Become wholesome consciousness. How about your house? Why you have to stay in your room, your house? I have a big house. Don't get problems, sir. House is like a hospital. You are patient. Right? You are patient, you have to live. Right? For a safety, room safety place. So house is like a hospital. So when you get in, get out, you live inside, still because I'm patient. With the house, without just the roof, the wall is covered, I will get sick, I will die. That's why we need the place to stay. The house is my hospital. Think about that. You will not attach to your house. How about your car? You have a car, right? You are patient. You have that car. Car is your ambulance. Right? So you have to go on time, right? So otherwise, problem. So car is your ambulance. So if you think like that, no attachment regarding about your vehicle. So please remember, so our daily life. So we are patient. So food or drink and so on is the medication. Our clothes is the bandage. So our house is hospital. So our vehicle is ambulance. You will not attach to your body. Right? So think about that. For the number one, right? So for the number two, with pleasure, will wrong you, wrong them. What is the meaning here? Problem here. For example, you drink alcohol. That's for example, right? With pleasure. Number two, will wrong you, you think, oh, it's not bad karma, it's not unwholesome. You will not see. the bad side of it, and then you drink it. But promptness means you seize alcohol. You think about whether I have to take it or not, think that many times. Or maybe someone induced you to take it for social life. So you don't want to take it, but someone forced you. And then, okay, I take it with pleasure, with wrong you, prompt. See that? This means it's not drink straight away. So induce for yourself and others, and then you drink. Regard about gambling, the same. With pleasure, with wrong you, prompt. You don't want to do that. Your friends force. It's just do that. Think about, and later on you make decision and you do that. This means prompt. Number 2, right? So after you understand number 1, the remaining 7 is easy. How about number 3? With pleasure, without wrong you, unprompted. See, our conscious, our mind, are some different conflicting types, so we should know that. So that's why this Abhidhamma is the profound teaching of the Buddha. Very useful is teaching in our daily lives. So if you study sutra, discourses, the Buddha just used a common term. So this sloga, this greed. So you will not know what type of unwholesome consciousness among 8, you will not know that. Now you know right way exactly what wrong. So we study ourselves first. After you understand yourself, you will know someone else might too. So we study Abhidhamma and put into practice. You know yourself, but you know someone else too. You can read someone's mind to some extent. So number 3 is to with pleasure, without wrong you. Without wrong you, what's mean without wrong you? So we have to take example. So let's say someone's drinking alcohol with pleasure. So without wrong you, it's knowing that it's the bad deed, it's the bad action, it's unwholesome action, it's bad karma. If it gives rise to the bad stuff, you know that. This means without wrong you. Unprompted, you like it. Spontaneously do. So with pleasure, without wrong you, unprompted. So number 4, with pleasure, without wrong you, prompted. What's mean? You drink alcohol with pleasure. You know it's not good karma, good action to do that. You know it's will give rise to the bad stuff, so without wrong you. And prompted, someone induce you, force you, again and again, to drink, and then finally you make a decision to drink. And at that moment, your consciousness with pleasure, without wrong you, prompt. See that? How about number 5? With indifference, with wrong you, unprompted. So you drink some alcohol, for example. Neither pleasures nor displeasure. this indifference, this neutral feeling. Because you do it every day, right? So that becomes the indifferent feeling. So with different indifference. And with wrong view, because as you do this every day, things it's not bad karma. We not still give rise to the bad stuff. So you have this kind of knowledge, this idea. This means with wrong view, unprompted. You just drink every day, spontaneously, without induced by someone else. So number 6, how different? Just unprompted and prompted. See that, right? So with indifference, with wrong view, prompted. So you do this every day. It becomes your second nature. So your feeling is indifference. Indifference. And with wrong view, you still think that it's not a bad karma, will not give rise to the bad self. Now I'm talking about number 6, right? No, number 6, right? So, prompted. Someone force you, suggest you, induce you to drink, and then you take. How about number 7? With indifference, without wrong view, unprompted. It's a little different, right? So, because you do this every day, you get used to, you don't feel happy too much about that. So, with indifference. So, without wrong view, you know that it's the bad action, it's not good to drink alcohol, but I attach it. So, you know it's the bad side of it, but you like it. So you just drink. And unprompted. No one's forcing you. Drink by yourself, spontaneously. So the last one, with indifference, without wrong, prompted. So you drink alcohol. For example, the feelings with indifference. So without wrong you know just enough sport to, it's a bad karma, may give rise to the bad selves, but someone force you. Or maybe you think by yourself, where to take it or not, things. Later on you make decision and drink. So this unwholesome consciousness rooted in greed, 8 types of consciousness. So how different of them? Think about it. The degrees, the different. Number 1, most powerful to give bad self. Because with pleasure, with wrong view, unprompted. See that, right? So the remaining with less and less. So the last one, number 8, very little. Bad self, because you feel indifferent, right? Indifferent. You know it's not good. So without wrong view, someone forces you. And then you have to take a little bit for social life, for example, right? So this unwholesome consciousness rooted in greed. So think about yourself, whatever you do, whatever you see, you feel, you smell, you taste, you touch, think about this moment, what type of this law arises in my mind, you should do that. So when you dress, when you eat, when you listen to music, or when you watch the sport, when you watch the movie, and so on. So just try to think about yourself. Forget about the lobha. So what type of lobha? Strongest one, or the weakest one, you will know for yourself. So the law of karma, the law of action and reaction depend on the cause. Is number one, strongest one, we give yourself the strongest one. Is number two, we give number two. Accept. So in the Suttanta Pitaka, the discourses, the Buddha explained about just lobha only. So the Pitaka, as all you see in detail, you know in detail. So now we get about the lobha. So last week we studied about just sixth rule, right? Lobha, dosa. It's a lobha. Lobha, so it's related to citta, consciousness. What citta? So it's the lobha, one of eight. See that? One of eight citta. So you know that. What is Chaiya? We study later. What are they? So I want all of you to understand about Hetu, root condition, about the sixth root, and Chaiya, and Rupa. So please remember, Rupa is meant just couple realities. Rupa. We will study about that whole chapter. That's why we need to have this, even though we don't know in detail regarding about consciousness, a lot of things to learn. But yes, briefly, you should know what type of consciousness, what is their nature. And unwholesome consciousness rooted in hatred too. Right? What are they? With displeasure, with ill will, unprompted. The second one, with displeasure, with ill will, and prompted. Only two. Only two. So we need to take some example here. Dosa. So you kill some insect, some animal. Killing is mainly rooted in hatred, right? Hatred. So dosa. So with displeasure. With displeasure. When you kill someone, no one smiles and kill, right? The moment you kill, look at the person's face, no smiling at that moment. Maybe before and after, maybe take a smile. The moment you kill, with displeasure, and with ill will, towards anger, right? Anger, with ill will. And unprompted, spontaneously you kill anyway. For example, you see some small ant in your room, kill right away. Why you kill it? With displeasure, with ill will, unprompted. See that, right? So sometimes you use the harsh speech at that moment, it's the dosa, right? This dosa consciousness is with displeasure, with error, and prompted. Just spontaneously just say it right away. The second one is the first one unprompted, right? Second one is prompted. Prompted means someone suggests you to kill. If you don't kill, they will kill you. They will harm you. It's good. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your family. So you need to kill this animal, this insect, small ant, and so on. Maybe someone suggests you to do that, and then, according to your suggestion, induce it, and then you kill it. It's number 2. So the degree is the different. Number 1, it gives the bad stuff, or more than number 2. So when it's unprompted and prompted, think about, we got about our mind. Since unprompted, full of your strength, spontaneously, right away, kill right away. Or the second one prompts me. What I have to do about that? I don't want to kill that, but so I have to do that. So even if you kill them, the degree is the less. See that, right? So whenever you get angry, think about the number 1 and 2. Is the unprompted or prompted? You will know for yourself. Some, without realizing that, later on, someone explain to you about this, about that, and then you get angry, you say something after you listen to someone else. It's been prompted. Even though it's not someone suggests you think for yourself. Think again and again, again and again. Finally, okay, I have to do that, I have to say that. It's been prompted. It's the meaning, right? So, how do we understand about this, right? Okay, go to the last one. Unwholesome consciousness, rooted in delusion. There are 2. Number 1, with indifference and with doubt. No unprompted and prompted, see? Because the nature is very weak. You doubt about something, see? And number 2, with indifference, with restlessness. So, your mind distracted. That's why no unprompted and prompted. Just with different indifference and with doubt. Doubt about what? Doubt about the Buddha, the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha holy disciple. Doubt about the training. The training is regarding about sila, morality. Regarding about samadhi, concentration, about wisdom. But, for example, nowadays we have many kind of religions. Maybe you think about, you study some other religion, you talk about the Buddha. The Buddha is the omniscient Buddha, no everything. Maybe you not believe about that, you doubt about that. So, it's not supposed to doubt about that, but you doubt about the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha holy disciple, about the training. For example, the training, please remember, sila, samadhi, panya, training. Sila is morality. The Buddha said, not supposed to kill someone else, not supposed to steal someone belonging, not supposed to get involved with someone's family, not supposed to lie, not supposed to get involved with intoxicant. Sila, like training. Talk about, if I follow this training rule, how about my family? I cannot support my family, so I have to do something like that. So you doubt about the training, about the sila. So another one, samadhi. When you practice meditation, tranquility meditation, you will gain concentration. When you gain concentration, you will gain peace of mind. And you think about this maybe impossible to train our mind to be in the one object, doubt about it. So instead of I sit meditation one day, I go to work, maybe it's better, I get paid, and so on. Doubt about concentration, doubt about wisdom, we practice meditation. So if you gain jhana, absorption, after you die, you are born in the Brahma world. If you practice vipassana meditation, you will gain vipassana knowledge higher and higher. You can gain the enlightenment. After you gain the enlightenment, you will free from the sadhana, happy state and so on. You doubt about that. Maybe, may not. That's why the people didn't, want to practice, to gain just a small deed, to gain concentration and wisdom, mostly enjoy your life, as you know, with the sensual pleasure. Right? Instead of sitting meditation, go outside, go to the concert, stay at home, watch the movie, and so on. Because they doubt about the training. So this doubt here means doubt about what it should not be doubt about. That's the virtue, the Buddha, the Dhamma, Sangha, and the training. So who doubt about that? At that moment, the consciousness, this unwholesome consciousness, rooted in delusion, number one, with pleasure, or with displeasure. No, with indifference, right? It's not pleasure and pleasure. With indifference, doubt. The doubt of some no pleasure, no displeasure. So between, whenever this object, you see, you hear, you smell, you taste, you touch, you think about, it's the neither pleasure, no displeasure. Is because indifference. This neutral feeling, right? Neutral feeling at that moment. So, with doubt, it's number one, you doubt about. So number two, with indifference, with restlessness. Your mind still wanders. It's wandering. Mostly, think about that. Even you eat, you be mindful what happened in your mind. Your mind still wanders, right? So at that moment, even someone call your name, you will not hear that. With indifference, with restlessness. See that? So, mostly, this restlessness. Especially when you practice meditation, what happens? You try the best. You can focus your mind on one object. Your mind still wanders, restlessness. So at that moment, wholesome, unwholesome consciousness, rooted in delusion. What number? Number 2, right? With indifference, with restlessness. So among this 12 type of unwholesome consciousness, the last one cannot give the self to be reborn is the state of mystery. This means even your mind still wanders all the time. When you give the self, might you become as a head being, as hungry ghost or demon animal. If she has powerful gifts like that, anyone, becomes the head being, animal, hungry ghost, demon. So the last one, very big, even still unwholesome consciousness, power of the degree is very big. So this type of consciousness, only Arhat, who gain the first state of enlightenment, the highest state, be able to eradicate this restlessness. So myself, I try to sit meditation. I cannot control my mind. My mind is to go here and this. So my wandering mind. So unless I give up, so I just try to explain to them. So only Arhat, no restlessness, no wandering mind. For someone else, more and less. Yeah. So we got about unwholesome consciousness. I will always used to remember that. So when you study another chapter, so you can point it up, is what type of unwholesome consciousness, what number, so you know that exactly. So now, already know unwholesome consciousness rooted in greed, A, rooted in hatred, 2, rooted in delusion, 2. It's not more than, not less than 12. When we say unwholesome consciousness, only this 12. So in our daily lives, mostly lobha, dosa, moha, right? So we need to change to alobha, adosa, amoha. Wholesome consciousness rooted in alobha, non-greed. Rooted in adosa, loving kindness. Rooted in amoha, non-delusion, or wisdom. We'll study later. So for today, so I just would like all of you to remember this unwholesome consciousness. So what we study so far today is in our daily lives, whatever you see, you hear, you smell, you taste, you touch, you think about, just think about yourself, examine about yourself. And is this a wholesome or unwholesome? When you know that, change it right away. Don't allow this unwholesome consciousness to rise on and on. If unwholesome consciousness rises, so we give the bad self to us. So by loving ourselves, don't allow unwholesome consciousness to rise on and on. So use the method was the Buddha give us, as I already explained so far. So think about this, we are patient. We are patient. So whenever you drink, you eat something, so think about instead of you attached to something, so without attachment, so use your wisdom, use your knowledge. So we study the Buddha's teaching, especially we study the Dhamma. So we should know, we should get some benefit from study. Otherwise, you just study, you know everything, you will not put into practice, you get nothing. So it's not supposed to be like that. So as much as we know, as we study, as we know, try to apply in our daily lives, and then you will get the benefit. So may all of you be able to study, understand the Buddha's teaching, and put into practice, and gain just let the wholesome consciousness arise against the middle, and be happy in your life. So let's stop here for today.